Yeah, hi. So, welcomes to this week's podcast. Appreciate you being here so we can connect weekly on the interesting topics. Thanks for listening to the last week's podcast. Um, if you are new to this podcast, then please do subscribe on the Apple Podcast as Minimalist Techie. Our show name is Minimalist Techie. If not, you can actually listen it on my website, and you can also read the articles which I post which is Sridhar Garipati, my name, .substack.com. I will mention it in the show notes so you can have the link for reference. So this week I'm going to talk about a topic which actually uh, triggered me while reading another article, which is advice for class of 2020, which was given by one of the CEO over the LinkedIn. So I'll share that link for sure. Mm. But So this week, my topic is if you're entering workforce for very first time, right? So you can be in a class of 2020 candidate, or you might be in a case, or you might be a scenario where you, after graduation, you never enter into the workforce, especially the women who are living the housewife or the homemaker job at home, and they are trying to get into this workforce culture. Uh, so this week, let's get into it. But first of all, if in the show note I'll mention the article for sure. Please give a good read. So that is by Alistair Cox. My his career advice for the class of 2020. So high level, he talks entirely 11 ways in which the class of 2020 can boost their employability. So you definitely have to read the article. I'll simply give a high level bullet points from the article. Be kind to yourself and give yourself enough breathing space. Don't write this time off. So the COVID, right? Everyone has a time. So clearly, don't take this time off. Do a best utilization of the time. Showcase how you have used this time on your CV, curriculum vitae, or on your resume. Become more self-aware. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stay positive. Be open-minded. Don't give up. Remember, your first job won't be your last job. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Talk to your friends and family and build your network. So definitely it didn't cover everything, but it's a very pretty good advice for class of 2020 according to the author, and also I read it, so I'm also suggesting to read you the article. So class of 2020 are very unique. They have very unique story to tell, and it's one that employers will want to hear. And if you tell it well and you have enough good material, this specific time period of COVID-19, when you're completing your graduation, you're still not into the job market because there's a lot of unemployment is going on. So if you can write this unique story, this unique time, what we're going through, how exactly you're utilizing this time, this is going to define your life in many ways in the future. So, I'll get into my topic now. So, because we talked about the topic which triggered me to write an article, and yes, the advice is pretty good, solid. So, at the same time, when actually I was reading this article, I was having a conversation with a person who was planning to have a late career start. So late career start in a sense, I give an example, mostly housewives, or there are certain men as well I have met who have not taken career seriously till age of 30. Then they're trying to get very serious, trying to look, trying to pick a job which actually help them to grow in the career, right? So, so for them, it's not a career gap. Yeah, class 2020 definitely that article gives you enough advice. But people like the people who start career very late, I have talked about it in my previous podcast as well, and they can actually learn from career relaunchers. That's what previously even I mentioned, right? Because people who are relaunching their careers, like moving from IT industry to entertainment industry, or moving from media industry to any other industry, right? Take an example. So if someone is moving from one industry to entirely to different industry, they have to learn the skill from the scratch. They are also a fresher in it, right? So if they can do it, you can also do it. So uh, So I'm going to talk about for any person. Definitely, this is helpful for a fresher as well. So for me, fresher in this case is class of 2020 who are coming out, right? Who graduated this year, and at the same time, also for the people who are starting, who haven't started career at all, or who haven't taken career very seriously, and right now they are trying to get into the workforce, right? So, but based on my conversation, I see that they are very much confused by looking into the market. That can they enter the market right now? So my response, which was, yes, it is the best time, at least for IT industry. Currently, we stand at the year where many new technologies are coming up in artificial intelligence, machine learning, cyber security. So there are like these are like upcoming. They have been since more than two couple of years now. But I'm saying people who have spent a decade of experience, right? Even most of us with a prior decade experience also doesn't have a skill set. There are very few people, yes, they have been working in AI, machine learning in the last 3 or 4 years as well. But I'm saying majority of the people, like more than a decade of work experience as well, they don't have skills in these specific areas. So it is an open ball game for everyone to skill up and work on such projects. So even for them, right now they have to pick a book, pick an Udemy course, YouTube, anything else, right? edX.org, Khan Academy. So you can be anything. You just pick something and start learning. So even for them, they have to prepare, how to get into this type of industry. And I said, if you can develop these type of niche skills, then although you have fresher, you don't have prior experience, you will be also in the game now. Okay, you can also win this game of getting the job opportunity in it. See, I have entered workforce right after my college, so I have done some preparation while doing job interviews or later phase in the career when I was trying to make job changes at 3 years of experience, at 7 years of experience, at 11 years of experience. So at multiple phases, or else I attend some big meetings, presenting many decks to the very senior committee, senior business people, like people at the higher leadership levels. So even in those within the job as well, when I have done such a presentations, you need to have certain type of template, right? So you have to prepare every time. So it's like even within the job as well, you'll be preparing for an interview or you'll be preparing for a meeting, which will be deciding factor for your career. So I thought of sharing this week few key points which class of 2020 or late career folks both need to look out as they plan to enter into the workforce right now. So people who are very confused, this is for them. People who are like right now, who are just starting. So even like take an example of me. Like I did in a graduation in electronics and communication engineering, but right now I'm working in a software IT professional job. So many of my entire age group, most of us in sailing the same boat, right? So don't see that you have done some graduation in psychology, but no, yeah, you have done something in psychology, but you can be part of learning and development in IT industry, right? Every industry, tech industry also have some their internal learning and development centers. So you can be part of that group, HR teams, or you can. So it's not like you have to have an MBA degree. You can even with the other specializations as well. Don't see that you have to only get into those type of industries. You can get into other industries as well where your learnings can be applicable. So my very first thing is choose your industry and set your goals. So if you have done specialization in your education, as I said, like if you've done like regular graduation, engineering, electrical, electronics, right? You don't, and if you have done pretty very specialization, then you already know which industry you'll get into it. See, as I have seen myself and others during my work time, I have seen people from a different background coming into technology. As in my case, IT industry, or seen someone getting into entertainment industry or media industry. So if you are starting out without any specific graduation specialization also, it is fine, as people move in their career not just within their industries but also move from one industry to another. So keep your interest, your skills, your strengths, etc. on a paper. Please write it down so that you can choose your industry. You can answer certain questions based upon your interest, skills, and strengths. Do this exercise so that you can choose which industry is apt for you. It can be a technology, it can be in healthcare, It can be in a media, it can be entertainment, it can be a consumer retail, it can be any industry. So irrespective of which industry you choose, do set your goals. So post a decade where you you want to see yourself at the start. If you don't know, then it's fine. It's important to get started, right? That can be any job, even it is not your choice of job, in your choice of industry. Do get in first, and as you go through, you can figure out long term goal. One thing I wanted to share here is, every job you pick it up, do excel in it before moving to the other job. So you keep on adding those skills as you move up. Okay? I'm going to reiterate once again this bullet point, as I have implemented my own career ladder. This one, every job you pick it up, do excel in it before you move on to another job. Don't repeat the same skills as you learned in the previous employment to the new employment. Okay, so always try to, on the job, what are the skills required, excel it fully, so you can master it, you will be subject matter expert, move on to the next one. Keep on adding that skills so that it will be helpful while you move up in the career as well. Okay, that's for our first bullet, which is choose your industry and set your goals. Second is determine the right company or a group of companies and the role for against which you are interested to apply for. So if you have a dream company with who you want to work for, then do a research of what skills they need. So you are not just dreaming, prepare for the skills needed to join your dream company. Else, in case of getting into an IT industry or consumer retail, etc., there are multiple companies, and many companies looks for the common skill resources, titles and roles, and all will be same. So choose which role best suits your education background or your recent learnings, where you want to get in as a fresher. You might have done your graduation in electronics, but right now you want to get into artificial intelligence, into the software industry, right? So it doesn't matter. You can, in that case, your background education, mm, yeah, your soft skills, whatever you have learned, are useful. The hard skills which you have learned, maybe they are not useful in this type of industry, but you can do some online learning during this time before you get into the job market. So master the skills which requires in order to perform the job duties of any specific role. So make sure you can choose your specific company, that's your dream company to work for. Then yeah, pick that one and work for their requirements, or else see a broader width of it. Similar type of companies, many companies look for a certain similar roles and certain types of job titles with certain type of job descriptions. So pick your group of companies and the role which you're trying to get into, right? So take an example of any industry you'll get in. There is an entry level role, there is a senior level role, there is a consultant role, there is a design role, there's an architect role, there's a building role, right? Every industry you go, so different flavors are there. Even it's not like there's only one type of work is there, right? Even if you go to media, like any industry, right? Take an example. So that's the reason I'm saying you need to pick a role in which you can excel. So so now that we talked about that, you need to prepare the skills which are needed to join your specific company, right? So I would say you need some help here. So third point I'm saying is take help from your network as you prepare for your role. Okay, I'm going to remind here, if you are not on LinkedIn, do create an account for yourself. If you do not know anyone in person in a specific role, then LinkedIn is your help. This for sure going to I have supported LinkedIn in my last articles as well. The way I see it is, this is going to have a huge impact on recruitment and the networking in future. If you're already on LinkedIn, then stop ghosting that profile. Keep your profile up to date. Right? So talking about networking, right? So reach out to a person who is really working on such roles. Like take an example. You want to work on as a senior data architect on on AWS cloud. Okay, something. So if you're looking at specific role, look for the people who are actually working in that role. So you can get a clear information on what to read, how to prepare for those roles. If you network well with them, try to reach out, build that rapport. They'll give you certain information. again try to connect with them. So the more you connect with them, try to make that mentor relationship with them, so that they place them in the mentor seat, so that they see that you are learning based on the information they are sharing, and also show that enthusiasm that yes, you appreciate their time and you are also upskilling yourself. So if you network well with them, maybe they can help you to refer as well in their company or any other place, right? So do not Google this part for sure. Get yourself bombarded with learning site certification, because the person who is performing the job currently is the best one to give you the right learning path or the recommendations. Yeah. So I'm not against it. Yes, LinkedIn has uh, LinkedIn Learning. This they recommend certain learning paths. Udemy also recommends certain learning paths. But I don't recommend you to get into it, because you want to have to be excelling certain role, not high level 2 hours of videos, 16 hours of video, right? That's not going to help us. So reach out to a specific person who is actually performing that job, so they can give you a clear learning path and recommendation. All right. So I'm just the reason why I talked about that LinkedIn stop ghosting your profile. So this came from one of my previous newsletter, number 4. So I'm just going to post that information over there. So the sketch note is pretty quick info to remind yourself when you are in certain type of situations, especially when you're in the learning phase. Please commit to your learning, and your learning, make sure your runway is long enough, right? Don't this learning never stops, so make sure that your runway is long enough. You're learning, you're passing through every hurdle. And yes, it takes time to master any skill, so appreciate the time and make sure you do a best utilization of the time. And yes, it does takes time to master any skill. And read more, connect with the similar profiles. So start small first, take your time, have your runway long enough, commit to your learning, so that you have your entire preparation done for the role which you are you're going to apply for. Fourth is now applying for the job openings. So sites like LinkedIn, Indeed, Career Builder, Monster, Naukri.com, name it, a number of websites are there, or your own network who can refer you or post your resume for openings in their companies. So this part requires huge patience, as you will be sending out resumes from the sites or responding to the search engine shared job openings. So have patience during this time and prepare for a specific job description more. So I'm not talking more about applying job openings. This is a head start first of all. Yes, search engine is going to send you every day. You'll get bombarded. You'll be replying to a number of emails. Patience is must here. All right. We'll talk more about this entire job opening process, right? So fifth is align your experiences to job description. Okay. And the reason I'm talking about the people who are entering as a fresher, right? So it's pretty important, because say if I have some 5 years of experience uh, in data architecture. Okay. If I have 5 years of experience already in data architecture, I'm applying a job for data architecture in a senior profile. I already have my experience since last 5 years. But let's say you're coming out of your college, or you haven't, or this is the first job actually you're looking at it. So don't assume that you don't have any skills. Okay. So first thing is, use the skills you learned in college. All the soft skills can be learned at any phase of life. It's not that soft skills you only learn while you are on the job. No, soft skills something which you learn from your dad, during your mom, during your parenting time, during the parenting time as you grow up, with your siblings, with your friends, in your school, in your college, right? In your graduation colleges. So you you learn this soft skills throughout the life, I would say. Not even after 10 years of experience, 20 years of experience, even then, uh, day before you die as well, I would say. There's an soft skills is something which everyone can keep on learning, right? All the soft skills can be learned at any phase of life, irrespective of which industry we select. Every industry requires to have soft skills, right? Every industry requires to have a different hard skills, right? If I have good singing skills. That's not good enough for me to apply for an IT industry, right? So that's like so that is a hard skill. So soft skill, your grit, patience, your listening skills. So they're like soft skills is something which are actually applicable to any industry. Yeah? So do not think you have zero experience for job posting. This is where every fresher journey starts. Look back, you are living under the umbrella all your education, preparing to come out into the world. So you're being prepared all these years doing your college, your engineering, or your graduation, right, or your masters. You are sitting in that umbrella. So this education, whatever you have been learned in this 20, 21, 25 throughout since your birth till date, all these skills, even even within that umbrella, you have gained many experiences. If you look at it, okay, you have gained many soft skills and also hard skills as well. Okay, if you have done certain specialization as well in the graduation or masters. So make sure to go through the job description very clearly. I have seen in my career few times people join interview calls without even reading what is written for job description. Remember, there isn't a person on other side of it who has spent time to write the job description as they are looking for team member to work with them. Right? That person is the other side guy is looking someone to join their team to help them, right? So he spent some time to write the job description. Yes, it definitely from there it goes to recruitment team. From recruitment team, it goes to the job portals, and you reply. Then again, there might be a different interview panel, not the actual team who is requesting the team member, right? So many things goes. But remember that job description is written by some specific person who is looking for a team member to work with them. Okay, do understand that they are very important and get familiarized with each line in the job description. And now translate your experiences to the job requirement. See, maybe you have done a graduation in marketing. Okay, maybe you're very interested in sales side of it. You have zero experiences. You don't have an actual job experience, but don't you? Sorry, you have zero the job level experience, but throughout your graduation, post graduation, you have enough experiences in order to align you to that sales job requirement. So organize your response, train at home in front of mirror. So document the response well. So I'm literally asking you to document it, write it down on your laptop or on the paper, so you can edit the response during your preparation cycle. So do not be in a situation where you are doing your interview on fly and constructing the answers while in call. So use your time to figure out the Q&A from the job description and prepare yourself ahead with the answers. So someone is looking to in those 8 to 9, 10 bullet points of job description, they need people who have worked on those certain bullet points, right? So what it means is if from there itself you can prepare one Q&A, so and have your question, have your answer. So please you can figure out your Q&A directly from it. Okay, so you can utilize this information in your interview as well. Okay, so those you can be at top while responding. So also this will help the employer to see you as an interested candidate as you will be talking in their business language, right? If you read the job description well enough and you talk in their language. Okay. Sixth is resume and cover letter. Yes, we're talking this one is 6 point. At fourth, we talked about when you're posting your standard resume over websites for which you're getting job openings list back to you from the search engines, right? So here having one generalized resume is must to begin. Later, as you get job openings back from search engine or the recruiters are directly reaching out over email or LinkedIn messages, you will see the job description for the posting, the hash file which we talked about. So I'm saying create a resume for every similar job description by updating your general resume to make it apt to the current job posting. Okay. One tip for myself, as I have 14 years of experience, I should list accomplishments more in it so it can catch other person's eye. As a result, results are more important to what we bring to the table. The tasks performed in each project are similar or more. Have them summarized rather than keeping 10 bullets for every project. last 15 years I might have done 20 to 30 projects. If I keep 10 bullet point, my resume might be 30 pages by now, right? So no. So there is an important tip. If anyone experienced guy is listening to it, then make sure your resume is at a summary level as you do more projects. And yes, you have done 20 projects, 30 projects. Your first page should be able to give a summary what you are going to bring to the table, right? That success story of your, right? So show that accomplishments in it, what you have achieved, what you can bring to the table. Then cover letter. Yes, many people, even I have ignored cover letter a lot starting of my career. But as I've grown into my career, I realize the importance of it. And right now, how the number of profiles have been searched by the search engines, right? So the even for those any recruiter is going through at high level, no one will be going through your 10 pages or 12 pages of resume in detail. They'll be looking at your latest 1 year or 2 years of projects more in detail, or the search engine will do some such criteria on it. So cover letter, many websites will give you a template. Starting of the career, it will talk more about your education background, soft skills, etc. to present yourself as a best candidate. Person like me with an experience, this should be a high-level summary of accomplishments, skills, strengths, right? So that level of information should be there. That I have closed with one of this customer, this much billion dollars sale. So this type of information, like I have done some automation for a certain client, reduced their 3 weeks of effort to just 1 hour of automation job. Okay, so something like that. So have that storytelling in it. Okay, that's the reason I'm saying I'm specifically calling about resume and cover letter, because yes, one is generalized resume, the standard resume, but the one which you are going to respond for the specific job posting, that has to be uniquely match with the job description. Seventh, set up your job references. As you go from one round to the next round for interviews, or sometimes in the first email communication itself, you will be asked to share references who can vouch for your experiences. So don't be surprised at the time of it. Get the people on your side ready. So it can be anyone who can help you to share positive feedback. Do confirm with them before sharing their telephone numbers or the email IDs. So do confirm with them before you share their details. Have a quick conversation with them for the roles you are going to apply for, and don't be shy if you have to put words into their feedback as well, right? Because if the companies are going to reach out for your references, you have to make sure that they listen a positive feedback, right? So yeah, and if you are just getting out of your college, maybe utilize I'll give your preferences any of your professors. That is helpful. If you're experienced guy, definitely someone superior to you, right? So your colleagues will also do. But yeah, if someone is really reaching out to take a feedback, then take someone superior to you, so who can get so that the other side, the recruitment, when they are reaching it out, they can also trust the feedback. So eighth is preparing for job interview. So go over each. Again, I'm going to go back to job description. Go over each line of job requirements, so you can understand the requirement very clear. Have your Q&A of what might be asked. Either do it in front of mirror, or have a friend or a family member do a role play as an interviewer, so that you can be confident in your responses. I remember during my college days when I was attending for campus interviews, so our group of classmates used to do a group discussions, or we have often asked questions like, tell me about yourself, why this company, where do you want to see yourself in next 5 years, what are your strengths, weaknesses, and as we prepare ourselves with answers ahead instead of searching for the words in the interview sheet. So same went even after I gained experience. Although, however, the job description is my day in and day out, it is still revising the concepts, or there might be something in the job description which we only have theoretical answers even as experienced resource, but we don't have any practical experience in the earlier projects. So those will be in a good reasons for us to get revised. There is no special recipe here. Preparation is different for each one of us. Point here is to get prepared and attend for the interview with confidence. So you can give your best shot. Say you're a singer and you are doing your auditions. You have to choose your song well ahead and get versed with multiple times before the DD, right? So preparation is a real gold. It may or may not help you in that interview, but will help you in future and will always be with you because the preparation you are going to add multiple skills as well, right? Ninth is interview process. Yes, how to shake hand as a fresher. This is what I remember. How to shake hands, how to greet, what is your body gesture, how your communication should be. Yeah, you should be a good listener. Listen the question first. Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. Listen it well, and as you have done your preparation, pitch your sales part well so that you put yourself in the best position in the interview process, and get yourself clarified about any specifics of the job. If you clear it, make sure that you're getting into the right place, right? So make sure you clarify any aspects of the job. So a lot can be said here how to do interview, but I'm limiting this part as it's you and only you can turn this anyway. So be confident throughout the interview process. Prior to the interview, if you have to listen to a good pumping music, if it helps you to get confident, then please do that. See, I remember during my 10th standard, so when for my shuttle final tournament, I remember doing push-ups just before the match, and where I won the gold medal. Or later during the job interviews during college days, or else during the work experience time as well, where I was working or I was giving the presentations where I have to do in front of senior business people. I would just stand at my desk for 10 minutes and I try to see myself as a leader. So I remember a couple of times just standing at my desk, looking all over the corridor, looking all over, or even looking at the wall in front of me sometime, and just assuming that yes, I'm giving a speech to a 10,000 people, right? So and and I'm controlling that entire conversation with the 10,000 people. I'm that speaker, so I visualize myself in that way. So yeah, songs. If yeah, music definitely helps. Many people have recommend this one. If music helps, then definitely if it's pumping up your confidence, please do that prior to getting into your interview. In my case, yes, I have experiences multiple times, different strategies. So it's not just one approach. As I have seen myself carrying different styles to pump up. So do whatever in your interest to pump you up prior to the interview. So you can go with full confidence to your interview. So the last one is please show enthusiasm, interest in the job in your conversation. So starting from your first email or the telephone call with the recruitment person to the last step of interview process till you get the offer in your hand, show enthusiasm. Okay. Even it's an entry level job for you as a fresher, so that you are interested in the job. Okay, understanding the job description, company culture, and their needs specifically. Even if you need training in the beginning, sound well in your conversation, gain their trust. So they can see you as their teammate even before you join them. So every conversation you have, gain the information you need as well, right? To to see if it is the best, it is your best fit or not. And also showcase yourself in best form, so other person can see you as potential fit among other candidates. Okay, so yeah, I know class of 2020, it's a rough road ahead. So was the road of last recession in 2008, and now COVID-19 impact over the economy since last 7 months almost, right? Since March onwards. So we have a history to support that. We will come back stronger. So use this time well to prepare yourself. I know any person who shows guts, the grit towards their goal will always come back with, to their winning goal post with flying colors. So I know you class of 2020, or anyone getting into the workforce for the first time, even after having a career break, if you create your own template or pick best from the others, okay, and customize it for yourself, right, you can easily get into any job with your hard work. So I urge you to use this advice. The reason I'm writing this blog is based upon my conversation. So I thought of sharing this my personal story or some other examples would be strong and compelling reasons to you. If you do that, if you do this chapter correctly, then the following chapter would be very easier in your life. Not easier, this will build a foundation for the next chapter in your life. So that's my 2 cents on this. So see you again. Do subscribe our Apple Podcast if you prefer audio version of this post. Our show name is Minimalist Techie. If you don't have access to Apple Podcast on your phone, then you can always launch my website Sridhar Gargipati, my name dot substack.com. So sridhargargipati.substack.com. You can always listen it here. So do let me know in comment or reply me over email to share what is your view on this podcast. So share, like, subscribe, whatever these days kid says. Stay connected, share ideas, spread happiness.